Hey there guys, this is Van, and I'm back again with another, challenge as you see. And ironically, this game is called Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. And, well, yeah, I'm not using the save state that was provided, but it doesn't matter because it was just for additional Pokemon anyways, and I want to play with the Cindy, because I am fire. Anyway, so, the goal of this challenge was basically not to win, not to lose obviously either, but to stay alive as long as you can without either killing yourself or killing the Pidgey, obviously. Yeah, the graphics are a little bit glitched there on the side, but doesn't matter because the ROMs were all like that. Who cares? It's not about aesthetics, it's about how good you are. So, I have to say that I've never played this game before, and yeah, it was the first. Like, I've never even seen this game. I didn't know it existed. Well, that's a lie, I didn't know it existed, but I had no idea that. All I knew was that, okay, it's the same as friggin' Tetris Attack, and that's it. Which is, by the way, what we kind of wanted to do in the beginning, but unfortunately, when you play against a computer, at some point he just becomes all retarded and starts screwing up, and that's just too much relying on luck instead of actual skills, unlike here, because you have a health bar as you see there on the right, or Pidgey has a health bar. And so what happens is if you clear a line of those exclamation blocks, Pidgey gets hit, it gets damaged, and that's obviously what you want to, well, avoid kinda, or at least keep moderated, because once the HP bar is empty, the game ends because you won. You beat the Pokemon, just like in the game. You also drain its health if you make a line with 4 or more blocks, or obviously if you make combos, so again, you want to keep that in moderation. Now the good thing is that if you've never played this game, you're not so much focused on all those combos. So from what I've heard, everybody who has not played this game before has kind of an advantage because they're not super at those combos yet. Not to mention that personally, I've never been super at those combos. I usually just, get rid of all the blocks instead of making combos. A lot of times I just either don't have time or whatever to make any combos, which has really been of good service here for this game too. Just like for Tetris Attack, obviously, which is pretty much the same, except, well, there is no health bar mode, but that's fine. Anyways, well, there's not so much to say about this game, which is why I'm doing this in post-commentary, obviously. I mean, I could have recorded my commentary while I was playing, but I don't know if you want to hear stuff like Ganbatte kudasai! Or, yeah! And I don't know whatever else I did, especially once it got kind of stressful. Which is, that's what always when I screw up. I somehow, whenever it gets too stressful, because the speed obviously increases, whenever that happens, I tend to start screwing myself over and I try to be way too complex. And as soon as I let the game stress me out, I obviously don't see the patterns anymore, even though I'm naturally really good at that. I mean, maybe you're seeing it on this run that I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good at keeping stuff in check here. And again, it's not about making combos, luckily, because otherwise I would be screwed. Oh, by the way, what also damages Pidgey is obviously if you make a chain, in the sense of, I think I mentioned that already, but I'm not sure anymore. However, I'm gonna do it anyways. So, again, what damages Pidgey is if you make chains, like if you clear a line of 3, and accidentally, while you clear a line of 3, suddenly another line of 3 or more is cleared. So that damages Pidgey too, which is why sometimes I just move stuff away, like just now. And you obviously, well, sometimes I was a little bit too slow, which is how some chains happened. And yeah, but well, if you just do it shortly after each other, like what I just did now, then you're fine usually, unless you're like really quickly. I don't know what this what the time in between has to be, probably like a microsecond. Oops, and there is a combo that I just said. See, Pidgey loses health. Well, the good thing though is that Pidgey regains health again over time, which is really why sometimes I got rid of, for example, those exclamation blocks, because I just wanted them out of the way. I always called that damage, controlled damage, pretty much. So they were out of the way because I wouldn't have liked for the blocks to just randomly drop down while I was trying to do something else. However, now you see that time is a little bit stressful and I'm starting to kind of screw up a lot because I let the game stress me way too much, which is obviously not a good thing. I should probably keep practicing, but again, I didn't really play this game too much, except for the little bit of training that I did now for this challenge. And to be very honest, I recorded this video actually on the last day of the challenge, which is today. So yeah, I was pretty busy. We all were pretty busy, or at least lucky at me. So we're kind of busy doing other stuff. We also had a game night and whatnot again. But actually we're already at 6:10, and unfortunately I'm gonna die soon, as you see, or rather screw up. I think that's a better word for it. Though I'm almost surprised. Well, not surprised, but I was doing pretty good for the fact that there was a lot of stress going on. But now, as you see, I'm starting to kind of struggle and kind of screw myself over because I'm starting to not quite see the patterns anymore. Because I did let the game stress me out a bit, or a bit much actually. Plus, Pidgey was just starting to drop stuff on me, and yeah, there you go. Well, so much for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.